Today, we're diving into a story that's sending shockwaves through the world of international politics. It is a development that could rewrite the rules of modern warfare and force us to ask some very uncomfortable questions about who is really fighting who. Ukrainian intelligence sources have made a startling claim that China has been secretly providing Russia with satellite intelligence on Ukrainian targets. If this is true, it marks a massive shift in the geopolitical landscape, one that pulls China deeper into the conflict and fundamentally changes how we see its global strategy. So, what exactly is being alleged? According to reports released just today, Ukrainian defense officials claim that Beijing has been feeding high-resolution satellite data directly to Russian military units. This isn't just about grainy photos, we're talking about advanced Earth observation data that could give Russian forces pinpoint accuracy to identify Ukrainian troop positions, hidden artillery, and critical supply routes across eastern and southern Ukraine. Now, Beijing has consistently denied giving any direct military support to Moscow. But analysts argue that this kind of intelligence sharing exists in a dangerous gray area. It's not tanks or bullets, but it's a powerful form of indirect support that could be just as deadly. This raises some huge questions. Is China quietly choosing a side in one of the most devastating wars of our time? Or is this just another move in a complex game of information warfare designed to put pressure on the West? The United States and its European allies have been worried about the deepening partnership between China and Russia for a while now. Since the invasion began, Beijing's official stance has been ambiguous. On one hand, they call for peace and dialogue. On the other, they've dramatically expanded trade and technology ties with Moscow. We've seen reports of Chinese companies supplying Russia with dual-use components, things like microchips and advanced optics that can be used in both civilian and military hardware. But if these new allegations about satellite data are accurate, it would be the first time China's advanced space technology has been directly linked to the battlefield. And that, my friends, is a serious escalation. It's a move that could have ripple effects across the entire globe. Why? Because satellite intelligence is one of the most powerful tools in any modern military's arsenal. It's not just about taking pictures from space. It's about tracking enemy movements in real time, monitoring supply chains before they reach the front lines, and even detecting missile launches moments after they happen. Think back to the early stages of the war. A huge reason Ukraine was able to mount such a successful defense was because the US and NATO provided them with exactly this kind of intelligence support. It gave Kyiv a crucial information advantage, allowing them to see Russian attacks coming and plan their counter moves. If China is now providing that same advantage to Russia, the balance of information on the battlefield could shift dramatically, potentially prolonging the conflict and costing countless more lives. Geopolitical experts see this as part of a much broader strategy. China is positioning itself as a powerful counterweight to the Western alliance led by the United States. For Beijing, the war in Ukraine isn't just about a territorial dispute in Eastern Europe. It's a live-fire test case, a laboratory for observing Western military responses, testing the capabilities of its own satellite network, and sending a quiet but firm message that it's ready to challenge American dominance in the global intelligence game. But this strategy is incredibly risky for China. If the world becomes convinced that Beijing is helping Russia sustain its war, it could face a wave of new and crippling sanctions from the US and the European Union. China's economy is deeply intertwined with the West, and any punitive measures could disrupt its supply chains and derail its fragile post-pandemic recovery. At the same time, Washington will likely use this as an opportunity to rally its allies in Asia. Expect to see closer military and intelligence cooperation between the US, Japan, South Korea, and Australia as they work together to contain China's growing influence in the region. Back in Kyiv, Ukrainian officials are not taking this lightly. They're calling for a formal international investigation into the matter. Their argument is simple. If these reports are true, China has violated its public claims of neutrality and is actively contributing to the death and destruction in their country. NATO leaders are also paying close attention. Several member states are already pushing for enhanced monitoring of satellite activity over the region, trying to find concrete evidence of data transfers between Beijing and Moscow. But, and this is a big but, we have to consider the other side of the coin. Some seasoned intelligence experts are urging caution. They suggest that these claims could be part of a larger information war, where both sides are desperately trying to shape global opinion and paint their adversary in the worst possible light. The fog of war is incredibly thick, and it extends from the muddy trenches all the way into cyberspace and the media. Without direct, verifiable proof like intercepted data transmissions or satellite telemetry logs, these allegations remain just that, allegations. They are incredibly serious, but they are not yet proven fact. Still, the timing of this revelation is significant. It comes as global tensions are already simmering on multiple fronts, from the South China Sea to the Middle East. More and more, nations are relying on space-based technologies for surveillance, communication, and even waging war. What once sounded like science fiction is now the defining reality of 21st century conflict. As the world holds its breath and waits for confirmation, one thing is already crystal clear: the age of silent wars has arrived. These are wars fought not with armies, but with algorithms, not with bullets, but with bandwidth. It's no longer just about soldiers on the ground or jets in the sky. The new battlefield is the invisible realm of information, where every satellite image, every encrypted signal, and every shared piece of data can change the course of a war. And in that high-stakes arena, nations like China, Russia, and the United States are already locked in a shadow war for dominance, a struggle that will undoubtedly shape the future of global power for decades to come. Whether these specific claims about China are confirmed or not, this story has peeled back the curtain on the new face of warfare. The front lines of tomorrow aren't drawn on a map, they're measured in megabits per second. And in that new reality, the fight for information supremacy has only just begun. What do you all think? Is this a calculated move by China, a piece of strategic misinformation, or something else entirely? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown valuable, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world. See you in the next one.